Need ya right now. About to give up, just walk away. Father, I need ya right now. Cause every day is just more pain. And I ain't able right now. Trying to hold on, but I ain't that strong. Father, I need ya right now. Can't better face this day alone. Father, I need you like every morning. Right when I'm stressed and yawning. Deep out with eggs and bacon, then I get to meditate.
Hey y'all, what's up? Terry Nicole here. Welcome back to my channel. I know it's been so long, so that's why I'm here. And as you can see, sun is coming up in the morning. It's 7:30 pretty much now, 48 degrees on October 3rd, I believe. Yep, Thursday, and I haven't seen y'all in a minute. So I'm just here to update you on what has been going on, and your girl has been going through it. You see, got to start in the morning with some praise and worship because it's been tough. And not really, like, I can't even be, like, when you see tragedies like what's going on in Las Vegas, you look at your situation, and yes, it's happening to you, and it's a lot for you, but you're here. You know what I mean? We're here. We're alive. We can struggle through our problems another day. Thank you, Jesus. You know, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for waking me up this morning and being able to make it through these problems and figure it out. So what's been going on with me pretty much is, let's get right into it. And welcome if you're new. If you like what you see, definitely go ahead and subscribe. If you're not new, welcome back, y'all. So I haven't been putting out videos because I haven't had my phone. So what happened was my phone, I guess it's like a story time, my phone was having a problem like connecting to my internet, and I was like, is it the internet in my house or is it my phone? And I figured it had to be the internet because like my Fire Stick and my Roku and everything else was connecting just fine. So I'm like, okay, it's what's happening. It doesn't say to stop. I'm sorry, it's a school bus. I just make sure I'm following the rules. But excuse me. So I'm like, all right, let me take it to the Sprint store because I've been avoiding taking it to the Sprint store for like a month. So I'm like, let me take it to the Sprint store, and the guy's like, okay, I don't know, it looks like your modem's not connected. Have you dropped it in the water? And I'm like, no, that's not what's happening here. You know, I don't know, that's not the problem. He's like, okay, cool, let me do a hard reset, go ahead and back up your data. And I'm thinking in my head, like, how am I gonna back up my data if it's not connected to the Wi-Fi? And then eventually he was like, you can't really back up your data because it can't connect to the Wi-Fi, therefore you can't. So I was like, okay, whatever, fresh start. I'm not that big on stuff like that. So I'm like, there were a few notes in my notepad I was a little sad to lose, but other than that, I was okay. So he goes to restart it, and I guess he didn't really fully think it out because once he restarted it or shut it down and hard reboot it, it wouldn't completely reboot back up because obviously it can't connect to anything. The software was damaged, the modem was damaged, something like that in the actual phone was damaged. So therefore I have insurance. So he is like, okay, well, this is free to you because this is a software modem internal issue, so we'll just send it out. So I'm like, cool beans, free, whatever. So he's like, you have two options. You have an upgrade for your phone that's from May, or you have or you could just send the phone in. And my thought process is they have this new thing now where you have to lease the new phone that you're getting. Excuse me. And so that adds on top of your bill, and y'all know I'm trying to save money, which is a whole nother story. So I'm just like, no, I don't want to do that. And I'm thinking in my head, anyway, once I send the phone in, more than likely they're gonna give me like new parts to this old phone regardless, so I'll probably end up with like a new phone anyway. So I was like, just send the phone in. And I was like, do you have a loaner? These people did not have a loaner. I'm not gonna shout out my provider's name because I don't want to give them a bad rep, but I had a hard time. And it wasn't the people in the actual store that was the problem, it was just the processes that they had to follow was ridiculous. So there was no loaner phone because all their loaner phones were out at the time. And I'm like, okay, so now I have no phone. So I was like, cool, you know, like I'm really trying to be peaceful about it all. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just have some social media downtime, whatnot, whatever. Until like it hit me that something happened to me on the streets for safety purposes. I won't have a phone. And wouldn't you know it, probably because it was in like my thought process, 2 days later, now I called, this is like a Sunday, then I called like the Tuesday to find out if a loaner came in. They said no. And then of course, on Wednesday, I'm driving my car, y'all. I turn the corner to go onto the street that is my job, and my car like slowly just shuts off down the street from my job. Mind you, nothing, no nothing is up on my dashboard, like no check engine, no nothing right now. Now, a couple months ago, there was a check engine or service engine soon light on, but I thought it was because I backed into something and then it like came off within a couple weeks. So I was like, okay, maybe it's all right. So then the car completely shuts off. So then I'm like, all right, I have no phone. Like, I can call no one. So I was like, thank you. All I could say was thank you, Jesus, that I was literally down the street from my job. Like, I was on the street my job was on. So my thought process was, all right, Tara, get out the car and start walking to work. I mean, what are you going to do? It's like, the devil, you're not going to win today. I just need to figure out a way. So I went ahead and I was like, you know what? Let me try and start. Let me let it sit for a bit and then try and start it again. Got the car restarted. Cool. Barely makes it into the parking spot at work, but I'm just glad I'm there. I get my car, go find one of our fleet mechanic people, our fleet manager, and I'm like, Richie, my car broke down. You know, I'm whining like a little girl. Can you check it out? Blah, blah, blah. He goes, he does all this stuff. He's like, I drove it, I braked, I slammed, I went fast. He was like, it's fine now. Blah, blah, blah. And of course, you don't really want to hear that, because then you're figuring like, you don't know what you're doing, because it just stopped. It just can't stop, and then all of a sudden everything's fine. So eventually I ended up taking it to the dealership, and mind you, all this time still have no phone. So that day I went to the phone place and I was like, yo, I need a loaner now, because now my phone is acting up and I cannot be on the road with no phone. So they have a loaner now. So I get my loaner phone, they set me up, it's all good, I got the loaner. Cool. I bring my car to the dealership a couple days later, you know, getting in the car praying every morning, like, let me make it from A to B. So I get the car to the dealership. They have me in there for like hours, y'all, because I had to get an oil change anyway. So I get the oil change and tell them all the problems that's happening and say they can check it out. And I'm in there for like 4 hours, no lie. And I was like, okay. So they come back and they're like, something like an engine mount bearing is cracked and the engine shifted, so that's probably what caused you to stop, blah blah blah. You know, I was like, what? So you trying to tell me my engine about to fall out? But the worst part is that it's like $700-800. Then they're also telling me that I should probably get a coolant flush, which is another like $300-400. We're looking at like $1,200 to $1,300, and I'm looking at them like, really? Are you serious right now? So, and y'all know, if y'all watch my channel, that I was so about to try and be debt free and start my emergency fund. So there goes the emergency fund, and I didn't even have that much saved in the emergency fund. So now I really have to save, and I just get in the car and pray every day that it's fine. And I'm actually going to take it to another mechanic, like my local mechanic that works on Japanese cars, because I want to know if he's going to charge the same, because the parts are actually only $200-300. It's the labor that's the additional $400 or $500, which is crazy to me, but I mean, I get it, it's labor. So that's what happened with the car. So then I have that. So then so the phone, I had the loaner phone. These people are calling me from, I was gonna say the name of the company, they're calling me on the phone that I don't have to tell me that they want me to pay $100 for the phone that they received to fix. And I'm like, first of all, y'all are dummies, because you're calling me on a phone I don't have. I left you a phone number to my job. That's why you should have been calling me to tell me all of this. So they're holding on to my phone, trying to call me on my cell phone that they have, which makes no sense to me. And they're like, your screen is shattered and you're gonna have to pay $100 for us to fix this shattered screen. And I'm like, what are you talking about? My screen was not shattered when I brought it into that office. My screen was fine. And obviously, if my screen was shattered, the technician at the store would have just fixed it. It's supposed to be a modem connectivity issue that you're fixing. What are you talking about? And she's like, no, this is visibly shattered. I said, oh no, you better call the store and verify that. I knew the guy's name and everything, that, hey, blah blah blah, you need to call him, because my phone was fine when it left your office. In transit, it must have broken. I'm not paying you $100. So I was like, she's like, there's nothing I can do. I was like, you need to escalate me to the next department. So she sends me over to corporate, and I'm talking to this lady. She was like, you know, and I'm like, you know, this is not my phone. She's like, well, you have to, she was like, I have to call the store to get the store to call them to tell them that my phone wasn't broken when it left the store. Why am I gonna do all this stuff? So I was like, cool, no problem. Blah blah blah. I'm gonna do that. I called the store, speak to the guy that I was dealing with, who's the head of the tech department, and I was like, so and so, so this lady is telling me you need to call her, tell her that the phone. I was like, you remember me, right? He's like, yeah. He was like, no, your phone definitely wasn't broken. I would not have sent it out like that. I was like, cool. So he's like, but unfortunately, I can't call out of the store, and she knows that I can't call out the store. So I don't know why she's telling you to tell me to call her. And I was like, oh my God. So I call her, and I'm like, he says he can't call you, so you need to call him. Here's his number, and I'm not calling him back, so someone needs to do something, please. And she's like, okay, I get that, that's fine, this, that, and the other. And I was like, lady, you freaking knew that already. Like, why y'all playing games in my life? So she called him like an hour later. So I called him back to say, she's not calling you right now, she's gonna call you in an hour. So she calls him like an hour later, and she calls me back eventually and says, okay, I know, sorry y'all, I know now what happened. He did say it did not go out broken, blah blah blah. I'm like, why would I lie to you? I've been your customer for years. What is this anyway? So so I was like, thank you. She was like, so unfortunately we don't have your phone in stock. Okay, well my phone was old, because y'all know I'm not really big on switching out phones for the latest greatest phone. I'm just not that person. If my phone is working, it sends text messages and it records my videos. Oh, let me know if this video is any better on this phone. The camera's supposed to be better on the front facing camera. So I'm like, okay, so what do we do? And she was like, because we don't have your phone anymore, I'm going to send you the money to purchase the next phone up. So now I had an S5, and so now I have an S7. She sent me the check plus tax in the mail to go and purchase a new phone. Cool, thank you. So I get to the store, I'm all excited. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna upgrade my phone now, blah blah blah. I get to the guy, I'm like, so and so, now I'm in a different department, sales. Can we upgrade my phone, then I'll just pay everything down when the check comes, blah blah blah. He's like, okay, cool. What phone are they paying for? I'm like, the S7, but he goes to the back, comes back. We don't have any more S7. I was like, y'all, this is like week 2 now. So I'm like, really? Okay. I was like, so what do we do now? The thing that irks me is that if you're in customer service, you don't just tell the customer like you don't have something or whatever. You have something, you figure it out. Like, figure out your next move. Even I know that from working in customer service so long. So he's like, oh no, we just don't have it. I can either go to another store and try and figure it out. I'm not all this crap y'all put me through. You think I'm going to another? I was like, why don't you call around to some of the other stores and find out if someone has it and can send it here, or at least tell me which store for sure before I drive on over there and then find out they don't have it too. So he's like, oh yeah, okay, so the other tech guy in the other department, he calls to me. He finds a S7. It's in Texas. Mind you, this is while Harvey just hit Texas and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh great, so it's coming from Texas. Okay, cool, great. It's gonna take forever. You would think, being all the stuff that I'm going through right now, you would think they would have sent the phone next day or 2-day service. No. Okay. It took me a whole another 5 to 7 business days before I got my phone. Y'all, I was so high. And then when I got in there to pay for it the second time, the check, this one was my mistake. I deposited in the new bank that I have, and I deposited it into my savings rather than my checking, and so it takes longer. The way my check is sent out, it takes 3 to 5 days. But like, it just took forever to clear, so I had to go back on Saturday. And then on Saturday when the check was cleared, the money was transferred, the guy goes to run the card. Don't you know it wouldn't go through? Because I don't make that kind. And I'm happy and annoyed at the same time. I'm like happy because I'm glad they're really monitoring what I'm spending and all that stuff, but annoyed because I had to call my bank to like verify that yes, it's me sitting in the store, and because I don't make $600 something purchases every day. But that's the end of that story. So the phone situation is taken care of. I have some old videos on my SD card that I think there's some special way to open the SD slot on this that I need to figure out. I think there's some kind of device, and I got to put my SD card in there and upload those and edit those, and they'll come out. So they'll be like Sephora box from freaking August and whatnot and September. But you know, I didn't have it. I didn't have my phone to do it. So yeah. The videos will be coming back. I'm absolutely fine, other than trying to save for the car and save for all this other stuff, y'all. It's so much problems, and I love my part-time job, but I'm missing my time. It's so crazy. But I just wanted to come back. This is already getting way too long, and I hope you guys have a wonderful, blessed day. What's going on with you guys? Any problems? Any good news? Any bad news? I hope everybody is well. I hope whatever we're going through, y'all, it can't last forever. It's there to make us stronger, and just try to keep rolling with the punches. Prioritize. That's what I'm doing. Prioritize. There's so much I need to save and pay for, but right now the car is priority, because if I have no car, I can't get back and forth to work. But thanks for checking in, y'all, and those that checked on me on Instagram and all that to find out where I was. I appreciate and love y'all. Remember, in order to be great, you have to be grateful, and I'm grateful for you. Have a wonderful, blessed day, guys. Bye.